folks. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Good afternoon. Yes. Thank you. All right. Can you guys take? Hey, can you take care of that security? Can you take care of that? All right. Thank you, security. Hey guys, thank you for sticking around and welcome to 3 Random Books, Universal Tarot Card Reading, episode 12. Yes, folks, it's where I take 3 random books that present themselves as they are wont to do from my personal library. In this sort of gimmick, I've got, I choose 3 books. 3 is the magic number, 3 sides to a pyramid. I associate them with a tarot card. And it's based upon the universal 3 tarot card pull. And essentially, it's kind of an open system, open-ended system. I don't really try to superimpose too many, guidelines or rules or how it particularly, how this appeals to me. But essentially, in the 3-card tarot card, universal tarot card pull, in that layout, each card in the spread has a common intersection. It's like they're all equally important, similar to, like I mentioned, 3 sides to a pyramid. And, without any of these, the whole structure collapses. So it's past, present, future, as they intertwine, not, one aspect more important than the other: mind, body, spirit, physical, emotional, your spiritual, subconscious, conscious, super conscious, what you think, what you feel, what you do, et cetera, et cetera. And so, and then, like I said, I have 3 books that come from my personal library, and I'm gonna associate the cards, and then, kind of have some fun. And it's look at it like a book club of some sort, and kind of an added dimension, if you will, with the tarot card readings. And so let's get right down to it. So for the first book, it's actually not a book. It's written material, but it's I don't really ever like I said, this stuff just it presents itself to me. So as long as I'm kind of just open and something pops into my mind, it's like these angel numbers. Like literally, whenever I fired up my computer just now, and it was 3:33, and it was like, that stuff happens all the time in my world. 11:11, 1:11, or it's numbers. It's the way the universe, the Galactic Federation Light. It's one of the ways that they communicate with us. Our family, our cosmic family. So anyway, and it's the same way that this stuff works. Like with these, and this isn't really a book per se. This is the lyrics of a band called Solitude Aeternus. And this damn book, or booklet, is so old. Like, I can't believe that I still have this. Because really it's a lyric book in this band, and they're incredible. If you're into music at all, and even if you, this band, just look, they're from Georgia, I believe. No, hell, they're from effing Arlington, Texas. Well, I think I knew that. I live in Austin. I was part of the metal scene here. I had a band that we played, and all this stuff. Texas is a huge metal state, and in particular, San Antonio is huge. But anyway, so make a long story short, that was a surprise. I knew they were homeboys in a way, but I thought Georgia because I saw them. The only time I ever saw this band was in Atlanta, Georgia, at a it's got to be it's a famous club. I mean, if you were into music and lived in the Southeast, and it was called the Masquerade in Atlanta. It was like a huge club, and it had 3 levels to it, and there was heaven, there was like purgatory, and then hell, and it was divided. It was thematically divided, and so all I guess I don't even know what was in heaven. I was always in hell. If that tells you anything, because all the death metal bands, all the extreme metal bands were in hell. So I never explored any other part of the omniverse other than hell. That tells you anything about me. No, I'm a pussycat. So anyway, yeah, that's why I thought Georgia, because or Atlanta, but I saw them, and it was man, it was a long effing. This booklet's from 1994, and I don't know. I mean, it must have been like sometime in the early 90s, because I went into the army in like I was in the army in 1987, because I was in the Alabama National Guard in a special forces unit. I did all that, a National Guard special forces unit internment while I was in college. And anyway, so I'm digressing, but this is the first book out of the 3 random books. And let me see, I'm going to read. Man, yeah, this is great. I mean, I'm glad. So, okay, here, I'm going to read the lyrics. I'm going to read all the lyrics to their song called it's called Where Angels Dare to Tread. It's a great song. I can hear the riff in my mind as I read this. So I'm going to read these lyrics. So, out of the sun appeared 3 men, or so it seemed to be. Abram saw and rushed to greet these godlike entities. Prepare a feast, my chosen wife, that we may honor these. A festive mood soon turned to grief when told their destiny. The leaders spoke of degradation that was close at hand, came to verify a grievous outcry from the land. Be the people righteous souls, then this I want to know. But if the accusation is true, to them my wrath I'll show. Where angels dare to tread, where angels dare to tread, no one is forgiven unless they know the word. How can you speak what you have not heard? Up to the gates of Sodom went emissaries of the Lord. Lot was there and bowed to them as Abram did before. Leave this city with wife and daughters, unto the mountains flee, or unto the mountains thee. Death will come to sinners' glory, I tell you, flee. Where angels dare to tread, where angels dare to tread, no one shall be saved unless they see the signs. How can you see when you are blind? A chill is running through me, remembering that day. Thoughts of pity and sorrow for those about to die. It would seem as though the world will never change. On again this night, tread the angels and I. Yeah, that's a great song. So I believe that was from their album, Into the Depths of Sorrow. This lyric book to this band, it contains lyrics from the albums Into the Depths of Sorrow, which I just read lyrics from the song Where Angels Dare to Tread. And then also Beyond the Crimson Horizon and Through the Darkest Hour. So it's a lyrical booklet that I've had forever, and so quite frankly surprised that it presented itself and that I even had it. But I guess, I mean, that's a pretty cool little emblem. It looks like a Gnostic kind of symbol. So yeah, that's what I was, I mean, metal music in general is just a more intelligent genre of music. And I mean, those lyrics are basically like, anyway, I'm breaking my own rule because I'm starting to try to interpret things. And so anyway, there's a tarot card associated with that. And the tarot card, do I need my glasses? This is the 8 of, looks like it's the 8, it's got a spider in the middle, 8 of cups. I mean, I'll look at it real quick in the book. Again, this is from the Kim Cran. Here, I think that's the 8 of cups. I just can't really see so well. 10 of cups. Let's see, and 9 of cups. Oh, okay. And then, ooh, ooh, ooh. Much of it. I'll come at it. I'll leave it in the description. It's I just can't. I've never actually seen. So this is kind of embarrassing, but anyway, I'll have the card in the description. I don't want to like dilly dally too much further. And the second book in the three random book Universal Tarot Card is it's this book here. It's U.S. Army Special Forces medical book, United States Army, and it looks like it has a major arcana card, the moon, associated with it. And this book, just not, it's a little bit more serious than, well, that first booklet, that lyric booklet was pretty serious, the thematic material. This is like, like I said, I don't really, I haven't imposed any kind of a rule. This book, to be honest, presented itself because it was this in an obscure kind of area where that lyrical booklet was at, and I eyes lit upon it, and then next thing you know, the third book came about. So in this book, okay, how appropriate. Let me. So I'm going to read a little bit from this. It's the U.S. Army Special Forces medical handbook, and basically, it's like a reference material for a Special Forces medic, and it's not like EMT paramedic. It's just like doctor level stuff, and so. It looks like I turned to a portion of the book. I mean, this is essentially this book will guide you through doing field expedient surgery, things like that. And I think appropriately enough, I turn to the section, and I'll read from this section. It's on a neurological examination, and it says the following. Here you go. Thank you. The following checklist will help you make a neurological evaluation, mental status, affect and mood, orientation, memory, calculation, and abstraction. These are various aspects of a person's mental awareness or status. Patient standing, routine gait, talking about your motor skills, how if there's any kind of and this is all a neurological examination, not so much mental, but just how you're I would imagine that this is applicable to if someone's exhibiting signs of like some kind of a poisoning or any kind of other type of trauma that might impact your neurological system. So Not to get too nerdy about all that, but this type of stuff is very in depth. But that's a book there that I had to use at one time, and the Moon card, the Major Arcana, is associated with this book. And like I said, I'll at the end of the in the description, I'll indicate what card is associated with which book and what that card's all about. Kim Cran's method is a little different in that she her suit cards are like based like Father of Cups, Mother of Cups, Son of Wands, rather than like King or Knight. And they're family members that represent a sort of like a symbolic, someone who appears in your life, not necessarily an actual family member, but somebody who fulfills that role in your life somehow. So, and then the third book is an interesting book that this is kind of probably, well, anyway, it's a book, Rogue Warrior, written by Richard Marchenko. He's the actual founder of SEAL Team 6. And this is actually an autographed copy of this book from the Navy, U.S. Naval Department of Sea, Air, and Land operators. These are Navy, this is the founder of Navy, well, not the founder of Navy SEALs, but this is the guy that did the team for interdiction, anti-terrorist, all that kind of stuff. So this is kind of like where the role of the U.S. Naval, the Navy SEALs went from their underwater, demolitions kind of role, like being frogmen, like deep sea divers, combat divers, all that kind of stuff, to actual, these were like kind of getting into the realm of like, like U.S. Army Rangers. So these guys are like doing small unit raids, and they're just, kind of like James Bond. It's like where they played him up. But this is the guy that founded the SEAL Team 6, Richard Marchenko, and I met him in Monterey, California, when I was training out there. It's a funny story because this, like I said, this is an autographed copy, and so I went and I looked him up, and he was sitting at a table, and I said, "Hey, can I showed him the book. I said, "Can I get your autograph on this?" And he's like, "Yeah." And so I just kind of like a cocky little fucker, I threw the book on the table, and he looked at me, and I said, "Can you sign?" He goes, "Who do you want me to sign it to?" Because I wasn't in uniform at the time, and so I couldn't really, I said, "Well, sign it to the Violator." And he kind of looked at me, and and he signed it to the Violator, the Violator. If you can, I don't know if you can make that out. The Violator. I'm sure you probably can't read that exactly, but yeah, he looked at me all kind of weird, which like I said, I'm a goofball, always kind of done things my own way, and so he signed it, and was a good sport about it, and but I mean, I said that all kind of cocky, and he signed the book, and he looked at me, and goes, "So, have you been behaving? Have you been, being good?" Or he said something like that. And I was in training status at the time, so and I kind of like, it was just a weird question, and I said, "Yeah, I've been, behaving." And he goes, and he looked at me, and he goes, "Why?" And it just was so fucking I don't know, it was surreal. And it was kind of like he mind fucked me, because I was in training status, and he kind of, and I kind of had like I said, like what, at that particular time, there was a U.S. Army Ranger captain. So this is the kind of shit that I would do. This Army Ranger captain walked by me, and I saluted him. I mean, I was an enlisted guy, and he didn't salute me back. He was like talking to somebody, but that's not, doesn't matter that he outranked me. The fact that I saluted, military courtesy, he's supposed to recognize and render salute. And I saw that he was just being a cocky fucker, and and I saw that he wasn't going to salute me back. And I said, sir, I'm not saluting for my health. Oh, he got pissed, got all in my face, and just like, lost his fucking shit, lost his cool. But that was me. That's how McGuire rolled. I would just fuck with people's minds. And but anyway, I tried to fuck with this dude's mind, and he kind of pulled a switcheroo on me, and But anyway, Richard Marchenko. This is a Naval SEAL anti-terrorist. His story, rogue warrior, brilliant virtuoso of violence. Yeah, I mean, this kind of stuff is a cult of I don't want to like glorify it, but that's kind of my background, where I came from, and that kind of tough guy kind of stuff. And but like I said, I never gave my soul to it, so I only went so far in that world. And I mean, I'm a disabled veteran, and I'm all honorable discharges, but I navigated my way through and made my military training and background and all my experience, made it work for me. And so I didn't give my soul away to a way that a lot of, I think, people probably did. And nothing against those that did, because there's a lot of crimes that have been committed in the name of patriotism. And anyway, to all my brothers and sisters and veterans and people currently serving, like I said, I'm a disabled veteran, full benefits, all honorable discharge. But we got to kind of look at our karmic past with what the United States has been involved in. So anyway, I won't go into too much more of that. That was just a little story, this book, and some of my past, military past. But let's see, how appropriate. No, I don't know. But the card associated with this book is the Empress. And that's, how the major arcana, the Empress, associated with Rogue Warrior. So the Violator finally did pull the table back over on the Rogue Warrior and made him be the Empress. No, just joking. But what they say about the Navy guys in the Navy anyway, 100 men go out to sea and 50 couples come back. That's just a little toilet humor, little military kind of humor. I hope no Navy SEALs see this and try to look me up. Well, I actually do. I'm kind of bored. Anyway, folks, I'll leave the titles and the cards associated with the books in the description. And I want to wish everybody a happy Sunday, and hope everyone's having a great New Year. Namaste.